The scene opens in the small studio of Stefan Braunfiedler. Um, he wakes up quite abruptly, or quite abruptly. Um, if it were even possible for him to wake up in a cold sweat anymore, he would be pouring absolute buckets. He gets up very, very frantic, very disoriented. Um, he goes to grab a couple of garments, which he picked up recently, a pair of coveralls, slips a medium gray hoodie over his head, pulls it down, and slips on a pair of loafers. Doesn't even remember socks, just like that. Um, gathers a couple of other things which he places into pockets. A few pairs of gloves, some small medical tools, tweezers, things like that. Also in his coverall pockets. And um, leaves abruptly, locking only one of, or locking the deadbolt on his heavy metal door. Um, realizing that it's, I don't know, something just doesn't seem right. He can't put his finger on it, but he's panicked. He runs out, thinks about where to go, goes up and down a couple of city blocks, and after some time, sees he's getting closer to the historical district, and a familiar sight comes into view. He runs down the street at a racing, rapid pace, and up to the doors of St. Christina's Church, and very loudly raps on the door, very frantically.
A few minutes, not a few minutes, maybe like a moment passes, and the door kind of creaks open, and then you hear someone go, "Hello?"
Hello. I, I know I don't seem that familiar, but I need to talk to somebody. I
She'll peek out more, and you'll see this girl with red hair. You might have seen her before. I don't know. With red hair, she looks like she's dressed like she just came in from the cold, and she'll kind of push open the door. Okay, come in.
When you open the door, Stefan looks like absolutely panicked. He looks like a combination of like he's seen a ghost and like he's running for his life, and confused. He quickly steps in.
Can I help you? As she kind of just shuts the door behind him, and she's kind of just wringing her hands a little bit. Her gloved hands, by the way.
I I don't know. He rushes over to a pew, like the second one from the back, and just quickly sits down and just kind of like rocks a bit or like shifts in the seat, and then turns back. I saw something.
Okay.
I I saw spikes. I think I saw a familiar face. I saw a hooded figure in, let's see, Elysium. I saw an alleyway. I, forgive me, I don't understand.
That's okay. There's a lot of things that we don't understand. Just calm down. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. She kind of looks in the empty church again. Just just relax. You're safe here.
I I don't wish to be nosy, but are you the only one here? I was hoping to.
Um, uh, uh, I don't know. I, um, hold on, I'll go look. And she'll kind of shuffle off. As she's shuffling off to the back of the church, you can see her like taking her gloves off and putting it in her pocket, and taking off her scarf too. You know, brushing off a little bit of the snow that's gotten on her to the back. See if anyone is there.
Out back, you, Mercy, will notice a familiar face, perhaps one that is exactly what you hoped for. He turns to you with a worried look, hearing the commotion in the other room. Is everything okay, my child?
Getting into the outsider is here. He said he wanted to talk to somebody. I don't know what to do. He seems worried. He said he saw things, but that was very vague.
Saw things. Yes, very vague.
Yeah.
Does he appear dangerous?
I don't think so. He didn't seem angry. Just frightened or panicked.
Perhaps we
Can you
should
come
put his
back?
mind
I
at
don't.
ease.
Well, I'm sorry. What?
Perhaps we should put his mind at ease, child.
Yeah. Could you come with me? I don't want to go back out there with him.
Gideon nods and motions to wrap his arms around you in a comforting motion.
She'll come towards him as well, kind of leaning into him a bit. Okay. Oh,
Meanwhile,
he's out in the chapel.
we shall go to him, my dear. Meanwhile, Stefan,
Mm-hmm.
this is a dark time for you this night. You can swear for a moment you can hear the voice of someone familiar to you. The walls around you begin to creak, contort. It's as if they're closing in on you. But a figure appears. You.
No. A loud. His hand just comes down in a loud motion on top of the pew in front of him. No!
You.
No.
The figure is one you
Not my fault.
recognize.
It was not my fault.
I will never forgive you.
And
I will haunt every waking moment of your existence.
he just goes like stiff, sitting like bolting back against the pew in another loud crash. Surprising it doesn't actually tip over, and just goes stark. Like there's pale and then there's stark white.
The figure you know as Sherry bows her head in a strange reverence to you and begins to twirl around, dancing on the pews of the chapel.
I tried to help you, Sherry. I and his head just bolts back, his eyes rolling back in his head, like literally going white.
As your eyes roll back in your head, the figure falls silent. Perhaps she's no longer there. Perhaps it's simply the fact that I can't see her. She can't be there. I'm just imagining this. But to you, every word she utters, her form, it's too perfect to truly be a machination of your mind. The walls now close in completely around you, enveloping you in a darkness unlike any other. You are alone in the abyss of your own mind. But fear not, my child. Some say the blood of the Malkavians is the most cursed of all, but they're wrong. A warm feeling washes over you in this darkness. A familiar feeling. Think back to when you were first exsanguinated, and those small drips of lifeblood were poured into your veins.
Daniel? Daniel?
Welcome back, my child.
I don't... I don't know you.
Of course you know me. You know me by many names. I am you. Some call me the Beast. Some call me the Curse. Some call me by a name that if uttered would shatter your broken mind even further. But rejoice in my words, for you are not alone. You will never be alone, for I am always here, always watching you, Stefan, always nurturing you as one of my own. Your cold flesh belongs to me, as does your mind.
Why do I see the only kindred that has really trusted me? Why do I see her angry in my mind?
I see you watching through the moon. Listen closely as I talk about the stars and their lovers past. Past fields of poppies burning bright into towers of blackened bone. Follow me. I have no home.
Poppies. burnt towers. I don't understand.
Why have you stopped listening? Your eyes dart open. You are surrounded by 3 figures. One, a sharply dressed man, possibly of Middle Eastern descent or European, not quite sure. Another, a fair, red-headed young woman. And the third, your friend, Sherry Blanc.
I am listening intently.
Good. Perhaps it is time for you to talk instead. And with that, the figure of Sherry dissipates, leaving you alone with 2 very concerned looking individuals. Gideon leans in closer. You've been convulsing on the floor for some time now. Outsider.
There am I. He looks confused. Stefan looks confused, but he also looks as though he remembers his place. Hi. I heard a voice that I know, but I don't. I saw I saw Cherie.
Who?
I
Oh,
Toreador.
I know her. The one that was dragged kicking and screaming through Elysium. Oh no, she came quite quietly according to my accounts actually.
It is true that the my Nosferatu acquaintance told me she was staked.
So someone was staked at Elysium? What do you mean? What happened?
I do not know. All I heard was her last name, and I only know one of that name. And staked from a Nosferatu I met when I visited the project some time back.
I see.
Mercy.
What?
I want for you to go and fetch Celine.
Okay, do you know where she is?
She will most likely be deep in prayer at this time.
Okay. I'll go get her. And she kind of scrambles off to go look for Celine.
Gideon looks down at you with pity.
The voice that I heard, it frightened me, but it somehow confirmed that I knew something before I saw the paper. The murder in the projects very recently. Somehow I knew something terrible had happened.
It is out of your hands, outsider. Your blood is pure, yes, but you should not concern yourselves with such matter. This woman, she meant a lot to you, I guess. But what you must do now, for the good of yourself and for the good of your clan, is silence yourself, silence your mind, and come with me when the time comes.
I haven't told anybody else what I know. Nobody knows what she did except me, I think. I'm almost positive.
If my suspicions are to be confirmed, the mortals, they do not know. The Primogen, the sheriff, the prince, they are well aware.
I tried to help her. I told her I would try to help her cover this up, to make the weapon disappear. It was too late, I think.
The trappings of the beast cannot be contained by all. An unfortunate side effect of the embrace.
Then the visions of the nightmare I still see was true. She is dead.
Child.
Yeah.
Compose yourself. You are awake. You are awake. You are not awake. You hear a voice from behind you.
I see it with my waking eyes.
I have seen this before, many times. You must contain yourself. You must calm yourself. You are still awake. You are not in your dreamland now.
I let her down. I failed.
No. You failed no one.
I failed. It's the first time in 10 years of being here that I felt a part of this city. I have failed.
My child, what I am about to do is for your own safety.
I will not betray myself. I will not speak of this. I will gain composure. I will just do not do anything against my own mind.
I will not harm you. Please relax your body.
Right as you say that, Stefan takes his head out of his hands, and you see a stream of blood from running from each eye, and a flush comes over his skin, and a warmth fills it. And you see him start to breathe, very stressful and
A stake slides out from Gideon's waistcoat. Hold still, my child. You will not be slumbering for long now.
What is this?
You will not be harmed. I merely wish to prepare you.
No, I will go willingly.
I'm afraid I cannot take that risk. Please. You will be staked for no longer than half an hour at most. You will not be harmed. Merely preserved. Gideon begins to walk towards Stefan. Very slowly, calmly. Places his arms around him in a genuine gesture of compassion. He places one hand on his shoulder and relaxes him onto one of the pews. It is okay, my child. You will be safe now. Just as Gideon raises the stake high to plunge it into the chest of Stefan, a figure emerges from the outskirts of the room.
Celine enters. What is going on here?
Gideon turns with the stake raised high, about to plunge into the chest of this man, when he notices his primogen enter the room. Instinctively, he drops the stake. My primogen. This outsider is experiencing a lucid dreaming state.
I see.
I was going to restrain him until you arrived, prepare his mind, but it seems now this is not necessary.
Of course not.
A wash of relief just comes over his face.
Is there anything you can do to heal his ailing mind?
Hard to say. She'll come and approach Stefan, reaching out to him, seeing if maybe he flinches at her touch or anything like that.
A slight flinch, but it's barely noticeable.
Shh. It's okay. What is happening?
I awoke from tonight, but the nightmares they were not the same as always. I did not see the birds. I did not see the alleyway. I saw a young toreador who I was familiar with, and I had a feeling that something was wrong beyond what I already know.
Do you have nightmares often?
Not in a while, but this is the worst.
She still just kind of strokes the side of his face.
I have failed.
No.
No, I
Why
have.
would you do that?
Because I was not able to hide her mortal crime from any of the others in the city.
see.
But I feel it is appropriate that I tell you what it was that I was unknowingly complacent in.
Of course, my
You
dear.
have you seen the paper? And at that he pulls out like the front page of a newspaper and a couple other sheets, and he just places it in front of you.
She'll take the paper and begin to look at it.
It's the
Mark you well. There is a place beyond spirit, beyond life, which is darkness, shadow, and there shadows dwell. An island, a fortress, a land of the dead. I have travelled there through a pathway of doom, and I have witnessed the dread king of the Stygian city as he sat at court. I have seen the faceless hooded ones traversing river Styx. They swarm about us like flies on a putrefying corpse, and like us, feed on fear, ecstasy, and anger.
Uh,
Do you see it now?
I
What does it say?
it
Look at me,
knows.
child.
It knows the past of the dead. It told me of a road under. She is dead.
She kind of backs away, and her arms go to her side. I see.
The nightmare was right. The ghostly image I saw before me in the church. The haunting voice of Cherie.
Child, do not allow your perception to deceive you. You are here in this church. There are no voices.
It is here.
No, it is not.
It is here. It is familiar. I know it.
Focus, child. Do not succumb to the curse of the moon.
Before I saw the papers that Celine holds, I knew. I had a feeling that the worst would happen, but I did not understand. When I heard her name and what had happened, I don't know how I knew.
None of us do. But there's nothing you can do now. Except calm yourself. And she continues to just kind of tenderly touch, like, your shoulder and stuff. It would be cruel to make you forget. I will not do that to you. And it would be cruel to inject my own thoughts into yours. I will not do that to you either.
You show the restraint in our gift as I do. As my sire did when he taught me.
It will pass. And it will come again. This is our curse, my dear. No one will understand. And now you understand that. Stay
Tell me,
here.
if I have failed one, what if somebody finds out? Will anybody ever trust me in the city?
That I do not know. I cannot speak for others. What you did, you didn't do out of malice. You just weren't fast enough.
The night it happened, I told her to come to my apartment, and I tried to impose my own will on her emotions. Is that wrong?
No, it is not.
So, though I felt as though it did not feel like when I did so on the first mortal I ever fed on in this life. It did not feel like completion. I just cannot get over the feeling of failure. Like I betrayed her loyalty and the faith that she had placed within me, the trust she had put in me.
That is okay. Never
So-
forget that. Yes, my dear.
I apologize humbly, my Primogen, but I believe my service would be best required tending to Mercy. No doubt she is shaken up by this experience. She has not seen this before.
Yes. See to her.
I apologize,
No.
Celine Gideon.
Do not apologize, my child, but learn instead to cope with your afflictions. Gideon bows deeply to the Malkavian Primogen and places a kiss upon Mr. Bromfiedler's forehead before exiting the room.
Celine will watch Gideon leave. Your guilt, while it is not good for you to hang on forever, you should never forget it. It is good you feel this. You have not fallen to the darkness yet. And for that I have hope. You
Nor-
believe in loyalty to your friends, even after such a horrible thing has happened. That is good.
Nor do I intend to fall to. And he has a sudden wash of understanding crosses his face. What she described, it sounded like what my sire told me during my 6 months in New York after my embrace. He told me of the beast. He warned me of it.
Yes.
He said that you could overcome it, and when Cherie told me what she had done, I felt this as though my own beast started to writhe within my own self-control.
Of course. It speaks to others. But we live long lives, Stefan. If it did not happen now, it would happen later. You must, as Gideon say, learn to cope. Learn from what has happened here. As I said, your guilt. Don't hang on to it forever, but do remember what it felt like. It'll drive you to keep the beast locked away. You understand?
He nods his head in agreement.
Good. Come, my dear.
I just
What?
have one. I have a request. I don't expect anyone to grant it because it requires trust. If there is something that I can do to further prove my loyalty, not to the Camarilla, that is not a question, but to those who reside here, primarily to our blood, and his eyes narrow. Make the request. Grant me this chance. I have knowledge that an artist does not usually have. I know the body, the blood. I know how to work the form. I would use these skills to help in any way I could. Anything.
Of course. For now, stay true to yourself and your goodness. I will think of a task to put you on. A gifted man as yourself should not be wasted. Now,
I also have I do not know how many of us have told you the Bruja numbers you mentioned at the meeting, but I do not know names. But I have confirmed 4.
4. Very good. She'll reach her hand out to take his. Come, my dear. You will stay here this day.
He takes her hand.
She will calmly lead him to a back area. There's small windowless rooms back there with a bed. I will not make you stay here, but I know here for sure is safe. You will not be disturbed by anyone to upset you further. If you wish to pray, I recommend it. But even a simple meditation would be good. Is there anything else you need of me, child?
It has been some time. Perhaps if you have a Bible appropriate to the Lutheran faith.
She will rummage around. She just hands you a simple King James version. I'm afraid this is all I have.
It will do.
Very good. You're probably much taller than her, So she'll motion for you to come closer to her face. Come.
He lowers himself slightly. He's about 5'10", 5'11".
And she will gently lean in and kiss him on the cheek. Have a good evening. I will be here if you need me, my dear. And she'll back away.
He bows very. He bows slightly, bending one knee under him, partially, and lowering his head.
Think about what I have said.
I will do that.
And she will quietly leave the room.
With that, Stefan takes the Bible and walks back into the chapel area, and kneeling before the altar, reflecting on all of the overwhelming information that he's taken in this night, remembering the reassurance, and just trying to understand. He opens the Bible and begins to read through passages, trying to refresh the various prayers in his mind. And as he lowers his head, he closes his eyes and he reaches out to a divinity he has not reached out to in some time. And the sea bits.